Some days you're the only thing.
Violence against women and children is a pervasive and persistent problem that affects millions of people worldwide.
Can't look away, can't look away. Beg you to stay, beg you.
It takes many forms, including physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, as well as neglect and exploitation. This violence is often perpetrated by intimate partners, family members, acquaintances, and strangers, and can have devastating and long-lasting consequences for survivors. One example of violence against women is domestic violence, which is a pattern of abusive behavior in a relationship that is used to gain power and control over a partner. This violence can include physical assault, sexual assault, verbal and emotional abuse, financial control, and social isolation. This violence can include physical assault, sexual assault, verbal and emotional abuse, financial control, and social isolation. Domestic violence can happen to anyone, regardless of their age, race, gender, or socioeconomic status. For example, in 2020, during the COVID-19 pandemic, reports of domestic violence increased in many countries, including the United States, India, and Spain. Another example of violence against women is sexual violence, which includes rape, sexual assault, and sexual harassment. Sexual violence can occur in many different settings, including the workplace, schools, and public spaces. In some cases, sexual violence is used as a weapon of war or a tactic of genocide. For example, during the Rwandan genocide in 1994, an estimated 250,000 to 500,000 women were raped. Violence against children also takes many forms, including physical, sexual, and emotional abuse, as well as neglect and exploitation. Children who experience violence may have lifelong physical and mental health problems, as well as difficulties with relationships, education, and employment. One example of violence against children is child sexual abuse, which is any sexual activity with a child that is intended to arouse or gratify the sexual desires of an adult or an older child. Child sexual abuse can happen in many different settings, including the home, schools, and religious institutions. Another example of violence against children is child labor, which is the use of children for work that is harmful to their health, safety, or education. Child labor is a form of exploitation that deprives children of their childhood, their potential, and their dignity. For example, in many countries, children are forced to work in hazardous conditions in mines, factories, and farms, which can result in serious injuries and illnesses. In conclusion, violence against women and children is a serious problem that requires urgent action at all levels of society. Governments, civil society organizations, and individuals all have a role to play in preventing and responding to this violence. We must work together to create a world where women and children are safe, respected, and valued.